Where's Marni? She made us sit here while
Waldo?
she makes an entrance.
Where's Waldo?
Make your entrance, Your Majesty.
Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia.
Why do you have
Why are you laughing?
Because it says blocked by Jax. Where'd you get that hat?
It's a hat.
I know it's a hat.
I need to give a moment. So, hi everybody. Jax Taylor is branding and has merchandise out. And this hat a listener sent me. She's like, you need this hat.
Oh, that was nice.
Sarah. And it says blocked by Jax. And I was like, do I want to give him money? No. Do I want this hat? Yes. And then I thought, you know what? He needs to feed his family. He's going to have to pay for legal bills. He's got to pay for rehab. He's got a lot of expenses. Divorce is not cheap, but it's cute. I feel like if I wear this summer, like I'll get a lot of looks. And it's like, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Exactly.
Which is great. Because like if you could see this hat and give me the nod, you know, it's like
a
I
real
got you.
conversation piece.
It is. It's a great conversation piece. It's a great icebreaker. So KC, please snap a photo. Oh, so also because I'm blocked by Jax, I want to take this photo. I'm going to play the audio of the pod over this, and I just want to show him my support. So I'm going to hope that Sarah
Can't tag him in it.
No, that's what I'm going to ask my listener, Sarah, if she could tag him so he could see that I'm supporting him.
I'm sure he's thought about this as much as you have.
And look, here's the thing. I was so devastated that he blocked me, but like maybe it was one of the best things that happened to me.
I think so.
Because it gave me clout.
It gave you an identity.
So anyway, and I'm still blocked. So Sarah's somebody
How do we get you unblocked?
I don't think it's possible. And Sarah...
Well, who are you if you're not blocked?
Sarah sends me, like if he posts something that I need to see, she'll share it with me. Like she'll somehow take a screenshot, she sends it. So how are you, Fel? How was casino night for those who follow along?
It was very good.
It was very good.
Yeah, they had it well run.
Did you win?
No, I didn't play.
Oh,
I
look at you.
don't like, I walked around, checked it out. Some tables were very crowded. Food was delicious downstairs. They had a great DJ. We were all up rocking.
Did you dance?
What kind of DJ like gets a gig at a 55 and over community in Plainview?
Played a lot. Usually they play real oldies, which I hate, by the way. Like stuff from the 50s and 60s. I hate it.
More of a 70s.
I'm more 80s, 90s. I don't know. When he played Meatloaf, everybody went nuts. Everybody was singing. It was really a lot of fun.
What Meatloaf song?
What is it? The
Bat Out of Hell?
meeting on the, like, I want you with the heavy breathing.
Wait, is that the one, the rear with the side?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a quick story while Marni sends a work email. When Marni and I first started dating, we did karaoke. And
We
Marni
love
did
karaoke.
that song. And
I did.
It's fun.
I am not really up on Meatloaf's catalog. So to me, that was a song I had never heard before.
That's
Really? That's
wild to
shocking.
me.
First time I heard that song
Was me.
Wow.
was you singing it. And for a moment, I'm going to be honest. I was like, did she pick this song because it gave her eyeballs for like 12 minutes? Because it's a very long song. It'd be like
long.
picking
It is a
Freebird.
You're right. It is a very
Maybe I
long
picked
song.
it because I hoped you would do it with me because there's two parts.
No,
Right.
you did both of them.
I know
No, but-
because you didn't know it. But
I know.
Probably shocked
okay,
you that
so
he didn't know it.
Did you? But were you impressed? Were you like, oh, this girl?
I will say that did impress me much.
That don't impress me much.
I will say
He's
it did.
using that so he could put it in the sound effect. But you know what?
Oh, good idea.
The sound effects.
Putting it on the tee.
The sound effects are part of. It's such a layer of the podcast now that I welcome them. I love them. Okay, so I have to say something. I got to tell you, this 5 a.m. club that they say that CEOs are part of the 5 a.m. club. It's like a thing on Instagram. People that wake up at 5 a.m., like I think Gwyneth wakes up at 5 a.m. People that wake up at 5 a.m. just have a fucking, they're successful, basically. So I woke up twice this week at 5 a.m. for 6 a.m. hot yoga. And it gives me the morning to like do my shit. And one of the things that I did this morning, and I'm going to look at him, I listened to Casey's new podcast because this episode that dropped is featuring Casey.
Oh, we get to plug?
And his story.
Oh.
And I just want to give you a moment because this is a very big moment in not only your life, I'm going to say our life, because Casey is celebrating 10 years of sobriety tomorrow.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. A lot can happen on a Friday night. Am I right, guys? just kidding. Felicia just gave me the
That would
craziest
be
look.
awful.
But we are going
Right
to
before
celebrate.
the stroke of midnight.
We are going to celebrate. Every year we go to Frank's Steaks. It's his favorite steakhouse.
It's
and we
my
go
favorite meal of the year.
And
We
it's-
go out.
No, it's not.
My favorite meal of the year.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
He loves
Okay.
it.
I
and
love Frank's.
We celebrate his sobriety.
I'm in my best spirits.
We
of that
celebrate his
night.
sobriety with me drinking. No, I'm just kidding. But
usually how
I
it
just want to
happens.
say a few things. Listening to this, I'm just so proud of you. You have done something that so many people try to do, can't do. But not only have you stayed sober, you have grown as a person. You've grown as a man, as a father, as a husband. You're running a business. You're two podcasts you're doing, editing and producing, 2 bands, 3 yoga classes, and cutting hair 7 days a week. And you've succeeded. Look at me. I know. Are you uncomfortable? Because I'm telling
I
you.
can't make eye contact.
Casey, I'm just listening to this podcast, like kind of left me speechless. Just putting what's important in life, putting one step forward and like making yourself a better person. That takes a lot of work. And I remember, Casey, years ago, like if we were struggling during COVID, like our relationship, and I remember you saying to me, like, I'm working on myself. Like, you need to work on yourself. And I never really did. And Casey showed me what it means to work on yourself and meditating and like taking the time. And I'm just so flabbergasted by you. And I think you are an inspiration to many. So
And you were a good person before you did this.
he was.
You were.
But there were some shitty moments that you did
well,
not
I
know.
did not see.
But
Thank
if
God.
you want to listen to the podcast,
I do, actually. I
wow,
do.
Felicia's going to hear the story that I
And
never
you-
told her.
You also.
I don't think I ever told her the story why you stopped drinking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it's all there. So, yeah, episode 2 dropped on Friday.
You
and,
also have helped a lot of your friends.
Well, that's why I believe why you put this story out there, because so much
Yeah, I
of
didn't do
staying
it for my-
sober
I mean,
is
it's-
helping you stay sober and helping other people stay
Right,
sober.
they're not my best moments. So putting that out there is not easy to do. But it's an honest telling of my story. But at the same time, it's also like it's relatable to some people, and that's the idea, right? Is that you want some people to hear that and go, all right, well, there's a way out of the chaos if you're ready to make that change. So hopefully somebody hears it, and hopefully somebody is I'm an open book. So if anybody ever reaches out, message me if you're struggling with stuff like that. But episode 2 of Define Insanity dropped on Friday, and
But before we move
ready to
on,
roll.
I have to say, like, I don't think people realize what your childhood was like. And it really kind of gives you insight into what you went through as a young kid. And I heard things that I don't recall you ever telling me. So, yeah, listen to
more
it. Check
open
it
with
out.
strangers than my wife.
Yes,
so
of course. But yeah, I'm happy you're here, and just
happy to be here.
keep it up. Okay. So I want to tell you something funny. I love when people text me when they have a celebrity sighting because they know I care. Emily Yates, one of my New York City Emilys in production, was at the Broadway show Good Night and Good Luck for George. Now, a few things. This just got announced today. Because of that show and because of Othello with Denzel and Jake, Broadway has not only recovered from the pandemic losses, but they set new financial benchmarks.
Oh, good for them.
because of these shows. Now I bet you this is going to be the new thing that Hollywood stars are going to go and be on
They don't
Broadway.
get paid a lot of money.
No,
to
this
do
is not for. This
That's
is
not for money.
Maybe it's for the res.
Yeah.
And it's for the true actors that just want to be in theater. So
Right.
check this out. Guess who was in the audience?
Who?
Can you guess? Guess who was in the audience? And don't guess, Casey. You know the story. Who was in the audience to see George?
Julia Roberts.
Mom, who else would be in the audience? His wife, Amal.
Oh.
Amal was in there with George's mom.
Oh.
I said,
That's sweet.
where was she sitting? She was center, like row 5. She was in the orchestra. She had slightly obstructed seats. That's why she could afford the seat because it's so expensive. And she saw her get ushered in, and she thought to herself, this is the skinniest person I've ever seen in my entire life. And then she realized who it was. And I thought that was funny.
Well, she's tallest and skinniest.
She really is. But she's supporting her husband. Casey, if you ever acted in a Broadway show, I would come support you as well with my
appreciate
mom.
that.
With my
Thank
mom.
you.
Yeah. Well, you know, when your band plays, we come out, we support you.
Right.
Yeah. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll plug your band when we know more specifics this summer because you got a gig.
Yeah. That's the only reason I'm here is to plug
You have
my
a gig?
personal stuff. We have 2 gigs.
Where?
I'll,
Okay.
Okay. Later.
Okay.
Later. We don't reveal too much too soon.
I don't know how many of the listeners are specifically South Shore, Long Island.
Well,
so
yeah,
I don't know how
exactly.
many of them are that interested in knowing
Right.
where we're playing.
All right. So let's get to some Hollywood news. Felicia, who
Yes.
just texted you. Ellen, Karen, Judy, Arlene.
No.
Who is it?
Oh, is it a man?
No, demand.
Carl? Carl is Felicia's fictitious
Mom,
boyfriend
I know you
that
said
we
you
always
can't.
reference.
You can't even put your phone on silent. I'm not saying like I know you have to get a call from a doctor. This is what
Hospital.
happens.
Hospital.
You want to tell everybody why the hospital's
No,
calling
no,
you? Well, you
no.
just dropped the word hospital. Now people are going to want to know.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
I'm
It's
just
just
having. I'm
routine
having.
shit.
It's routine. I'm having a procedure on Monday.
It's cataract. Everybody your age
Cataract.
gets
It's not a big
cataract.
deal.
It's not a big deal, Mom. Did you hear the news about Survivor 50?
Oh God, 50.
It is.
Possible. It hasn't been on
You
for
guys,
50 years.
It's been 50 seasons.
Which means
think about this.
They doubled up a couple
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Think you're going to die, Casey.
50.
This has been all over the internet. This is like beyond All Stars. Guess who's coming back to
Well,
be in this season 50?
I would assume Rich.
Guess who's coming back? The
Mike White.
Yes!
Oh, I don't remember which one Mike White
He's
was.
My
the creator
headphones
of
right
the
now.
White Lotus. This man
he
is
wa-
taking the
Well,
time.
he was on Survivor.
Oh, Mom, we've discussed this so many times. He not only was on Survivor, he like won it. He went in like a normal person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've told you this so many times. He puts the people that were on in his Survivor cast. He's put in every season of. We've
Wow.
discussed this. You forgot it.
I forgot it because it's not important to
It's
me.
huge. You used to love Survivor.
When the first 4 years, and then
Okay,
it's like,
so
I get bored.
listen
Enough
to me.
is enough.
We get it. You're on an island. You're surviving.
He's taking the time. I can't get over the fact that he's taking the time to be back on Survivor. This is not going to air till spring 2026. Guess who's also going to be back? Siri.
Boston Rob.
Siri. She was in the Traders.
She was also on
So look,
a Big Brother with her son.
Right. I forgot.
Siri.
Suri. We used to
Not Siri, like the
Siri, yeah.
Apple.
we used to watch Survivor thanks to you, Mom. You were like an OG Survivor
Oh, I loved
fan.
it. Yeah, from the very beginning.
So I think we should take the time to watch this next spring. I think it's going to be an important part of the zeitgeist.
I think
I
I'll
bet
be
Lennon
bored.
would love it.
I'll be. Yeah, I bet Lennon would love it, but I'll be bored.
Lennon would love it.
Yeah,
But come
Lennon
on,
would
Mike
love it.
White. I'm going to.
I don't know who. I mean, I know you're telling me who Mike White is, but I wouldn't recognize him.
What?
Marni, I don't think I even saw it when he was on.
I know you watch enough
I
entertainment
bet if I
tonight.
showed you a picture of him, you'd be like, oh,
maybe
that guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, pull up a
maybe,
picture.
Maybe.
Hacks has been renewed for season 5.
Good for them.
Good. Did you end up watching the finale?
No, because you gave me so many finales to watch this, and
It's finale fucking week, people.
Yes, it is.
It was the week of finales, but last week was the Hacks finale, so you are behind.
I am
Felicia.
behind.
You behind.
Yep. A lot of pressure, people. A lot of pressure from Marni.
A lot of homework.
A lot of homework, which
This week, I gave you more homework because of finale week, but I
Yes.
didn't make you watch any new shows.
What new shows are there?
I'm going to get into it, but
Okay.
I asked you to please watch the finales of shows that you're already watching. We're not at that part yet. Let me get to it.
Okay.
Hold on. There's a new indie comedy coming out, and this obviously anything with the word counselor I'm going to be interested in. It's called Bad Counselors, and it follows 2 hard partying fraternity brothers who pose as middle school camp counselors to work off community service and salvage their senior year. But you know who's going to be in it? Chris Klein. When was the last time we saw Chris Klein in anything?
long time.
He was in American Pie.
No, that was the original. I mean, that was one of the
I
first
know.
things he did.
Was he ever married to Katie Holmes? Wasn't Chris Klein married to Katie Holmes?
I don't think
Dated
so.
Katie Holmes. You looking this up, Casey? Chris
Way
Klein,
before Tom Cruise.
obviously.
Chris Klein and Katie Holmes dated for a significant period from 2000 until they ended their engagement in 2005. So
Wow.
they were engaged in December of 2003. Following the breakup, Holmes began dating Tom Cruise.
Wow.
This is pre-Cruise.
Yikes.
Holmes.
told you.
This is like probably Go era, Katie Holmes? Or is this after Go?
What's the year?
2000.
I think it was
What year
after
was
Go. I feel like Go was like 98 or 99.
By the way, still a movie that is...
Great movie. Great movie.
Oh, 1999, so it's right
Really?
after.
That was impressive, Marni.
That don't impress me much.
Felicia, I know Casey's going to edit out your coughs, but are you okay?
I'm fine. Sometimes,
I gotta leave that one in. Gotta have a reference point.
I'm fine.
You're sniffling. Do you have a cold?
No, I don't. I even took
it
Allegra.
COVID?
I take Allegra every
What
morning.
the fuck's Allegra? Like allergies?
Just recreationally.
Yeah.
Casey's really on
What-
the money today.
One in the morning. It's which
I'm concerned
Karen's,
about you
Karen's
getting older.
I'm concerned about me getting older also, and it's really fucking scary. Just so you know.
Oh my God.
When they say,
Got that to look forward to.
yes, you do.
How soon do you want the pillow?
Just save it up.
The pills or the
Once
pillow?
a month, this pillow conversation
Well-
is becoming more frequent. It used to be every quarter. Now it's happening every month.
Pills or pillow? Where are we going? Because I think
would
I'm
rather
more
do-
comfortable with the pills.
I-
Not
Me
both.
too.
I can't do the pillow. I cannot do the
you can't
pillow.
do
I
the-
love you too much.
I would love pills.
I would take a pill with you, but you take more. You're like, I'll
I'd
take
have to
one.
take more.
Obviously. But
To
like
kill
you could
my-
take the bottle. I would take. Actually, I heard that they just approved, what do they call it? Like assisted
death.
in some state that it wasn't approved. I forget what it was. But
Well, it's still not here.
well, we could go to Utah, isn't it?
Road trip.
It's used.
Another great
I
movie.
know you
It's
said
extremely
Utah.
Mormon. There's no way they're condoning.
They're not
Is it
doing that.
Oregon?
Right,
All right.
right.
Probably
Anyway,
Oregon.
All right, so let's get into
We could stay with your mother.
Knock, knock.
Just Here to Die.
and visit for 5 minutes.
Let's say our goodbyes.
Gotta make this visit quick. I got places
right.
to be.
Big week. It's finale week for Uncircumcised Finale Gems. Felicia, do you want to tell everybody? We could tell everybody. This is a disclaimer, guys. If you have Hulu and you're sharing Hulu with your family, Felicia and me, we were on my brother's account. And they're cracking down like Netflix used to crack down. Now, we added you to our Netflix account, and we do pay an exorbitant amount of money to have you. But you know what, Felicia? Consider it your fee.
Worth every penny.
Consider it your fee for being on the podcast.
Someone's getting paid.
So wait, I'm about to tune into the finale of Handmaids, and I can't because we're locked out of Hulu. And I call Felicia. I'm like, Casey, I'm on a text thread with the fam, and I'm like, anyone else locked out of Hulu? And Casey has a meme, and he goes, it's all happening.
It was Michael Scott from The Office. Okay, it's happening.
And I was like, this is the moment. This is the deciding factor. Now we have got to start paying for Hulu.
And I was so sick and tired of Marni bugging the shit out of me the other day. Ma, try it. I'll be near Casey. They're going to send the information.
I was like, once I pay for it, I'll give you my login.
Right.
But then I realized, fuck this. Now I'm going to have to pay more money for Hulu if I
and
enter my
I could
household.
not stand it. So I sat the other night and I went, I'm a big girl. I can afford to pay $10 a month.
With ads.
With ads, because I don't really give a shit.
What's the cost difference with ads?
10. But here's the thing.
Twice the price to not have ads.
We pay
Shame on them.
We pay for Disney Plus.
Right.
And what we ended up doing was the bundle. So now it's $19.99 for Disney and Hulu.
But I
I
don't
think
need-
that's a good plan.
It is for you guys. I don't need
But we already paid for the year of Disney, so I'm hoping we have a free
Something.
next few months. So
Right.
I just want to say, let's give a round of applause to Felicia for figuring out how to get herself Hulu. You are a role model for those your age. You could have classes.
I have to tell you
Oh,
when
you
I
can
said
have a
to-
workshop at
what- Yeah, right.
Plainview.
When I
The
said to
community.
some of my friends that I said I have to actually now pay for my own Hulu, they went no because the reason
Nobody does.
They know their time's coming.
well,
the days
yeah,
are
maybe.
numbered. All
Every
these
one of us.
freeloaders and
It's
every-
uses
Plainview.
it with their kids.
Right.
It's gonna
Every
they're cracking
single-
down.
right.
So now
And-
Hulu cracked down, Netflix cracked down. What's next? Max. You have our Max.
well, if I lose that, I don't really care.
Are you?
Wait
I
a minute.
can't. I
Here's
can't.
the
You
thing.
are going to
I'm
care.
paying for HBO.
You're paying for cable. This is absurd.
So, but
We're gonna
they're
this
saying-
conversation.
Yeah, let's gotta go.
They're saying it's going to be HBO Max.
Yeah,
So
now.
they're going to. So what does that mean?
Maybe
if I'm paying for HBO,
Oh,
give
you're
me a
right.
goddamn
She
break
probably
on
has
Max.
a login because she's
you-
paying for HBO.
cable. You have a
Do you
TV
think-
provider.
do you
She
think-
doesn't know it. But you're right, Mom. You don't need to pay for HBO Max because you have a cable login. You
Right.
could get in that way.
Right.
I'm guessing.
I don't know what the cable login is.
We'll get it
It
next
only
time I
costs
Enough
visit.
with the
$300 a month, but
How much
she's
is-
got it.
I don't even know.
Ring a ling a ding.
Mom, it's your cell phone is going off. Who's texting,
texting?
you? At least share.
Carl?
Who is it? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put your phone on just vibrate. And because my hearing is amazing,
Fine.
and because I feel vibrations, I'm gonna hold your phone.
Okay.
And if I see a vibration from an
They're
unrecognizable number,
not going to text me.
no, they're gonna
to
call
me.
So
Right.
it's gonna vibrate and vibrate
Right.
and vibrate. But
Right.
Verizon could suck fuck it
I
themselves.
don't give a shit about that.
Why is Verizon texting
Because they're
you?
just letting me know they took out money from my account to pay for
cable?
cable.
There we go. It comes full circle.
So let's discuss Handmaid's finale.
Do you want my opinion first?
I'm scared because you and everybody
There's
else.
gonna be some spoilers here, so just
Disappointed.
You know, my friend
So-
whose name I cannot mention,
say it.
Lindsay. She was real upset.
I was like, what?
Okay.
And Karen loved it, by the way.
As did I.
She
I liked it. I
She
thought
loved
this
it.
was closure.
That's
I got
what she felt.
goodbyes from everybody. Now we're watching this, and the whole time Casey's going, I need like a big fight. I'm like, no. That was the previous episode.
Right.
We don't need a big fight. This is the episode.
I needed a
Round it
showdown
out.
for
I
Hannah.
I needed something also.
I
Here-
needed something from Hannah.
Here's-
That was a cop
Here's
out.
the thing. It hit all the characters. They brought back fucking Alexis Bydel. What was her name? Emily? They brought back that girl.
Wait a minute.
They
wait a
brought
minute.
back the
but
old.
that wasn't the real. It didn't look like Alexis Bledel.
It was.
Was it? Because I kept thinking I
she
have
didn't
to
look
ask
good
you.
When it was her.
Okay.
It was her.
Because she totally
She
did
looked
not.
skinny and like not great and old, but that's how she looked in Handmaids. She didn't look
I
good
know,
when
but
she was in it.
Just
No.
That's I
Listen to
understand.
me.
You're not supposed to look good. You're not supposed to be all glam.
I felt like, I mean, when they played Landslide and she was visioning like what life would be like if Gilead never happened. I mean, obviously they all want to be friends, but like they're singing but here's the thing about Hannah, and I get it. Everybody wants the Hannah ending.
Just closure.
But here's the thing. Everybody knows there's going to be a sequel called The Testament, okay? And that book, think about this, is about the little girls who are raised in Gilead.
in the life.
And guess who is in this book?
Well, Hannah.
Hannah, Nicole, her other child, and Aunt Lydia are the three main characters in this book. The book takes place 15 years later. The TV show is going to take place 4 to 5 years later, okay? But those are the three girls that are going to be the leads of this show. And we're going to see Hannah again, which means if Elizabeth Moss is executive producer and directing more episodes, we may see June again then. This story, and I'm sorry, everybody, I know it's been 6 years, and oh my God, people are so upset. And they've given so much of their life to the show.
Like 9 years.
Yeah, but 6 seasons, maybe 9 years because of the strike. There's more. There's more story to tell. I'm not angry.
I know, I knew, and know there is more story, and they were leaving it for the next season, whatever they come up with. I don't know. I just wanted more. I wanted more.
I don't know if you
just
felt this way, but like that show has done a great job of like showing you the anxiety of that reality, right? This one felt a little too light and fluffy. It was kind of like the tone was different. It was a different tone than the rest of the series.
I just was like,
And I'm like,
really?
okay, you're kind of showing all this closure.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
people are
yeah.
saying goodbye to these people. Oh, so-and-so's back. It just felt a little unnatural.
That's how
and then
I
it
feel.
ended so like softly where I think they should have addressed more of the stress that like I think there was something there with the fact that when she got to see Janine
That's-
reunited
how amazing
with her,
was that?
That
that's
was great.
But they
That
should have
was
shown a
closure.
little more turmoil where she's like, maybe she's a little jealous because she doesn't get Hannah back. Like there should have been more emotion to it other than like, oh, everything's just unfolding. It just didn't feel like the same tone. It felt a little rushed, which is crazy because I felt like I kept saying they need to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
But I feel
Casey
like
kept looking at the clock, like, how much time do we have? I'm like, we have 7 more minutes to see Hannah.
that's what I kept
7
thinking.
more
I was
minutes
like,
to see
they're-
Hannah.
They needed to wrap some things
Yeah.
up, but it just went. They're like, okay, boom, 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 and you're like, okay.
I was, and then I went on after I watched it. I did, of course, go, and everybody hated
Everybody.
it.
okay.
People
You
were
got
disappointed
crushed.
They were
because of
disappointed.
Hannah.
right? Or because of
People were disappointed in the Lost finale. You know, like,
I
this
know.
is what happens with
Right.
finales.
So rare when there's a beloved series to make everybody happy. Mm-hmm. Like you
What
think about-
finale was great? Was Breaking Bad
Breaking
finale?
Bad was pretty
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't
obviously,
remember.
6 Feet Under was the perfect ending.
The
to
best
any
finale
series.
ever
So-
is 6 Feet Under.
100%. But then you think of like Game of Thrones. You know what? I'll say it right now.
people hated that.
People hated that, but you know why?
There was more books.
But the problem with Game of Thrones, in my opinion, was there was a certain pacing to that show, similarly to Handmaid's Tale, where there's like you're used to this pacing, and all of a sudden they're just trying to tie everything up quickly at the very, very, very end.
I don't know. I felt like the episode before kind of
well,
gave
that was
us
a
all
boom.
that.
That was a big boom.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. The plane. Boom.
That could have been the finale.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't.
wasn't.
I don't know. I
Clearly
didn't
they're
hate it.
foreshadowing. The whole thing was to set up this next.
Yeah.
And
Next
do we know
series.
if they did start to shoot it already?
I don't know if they started to shoot it, but they're certainly on red carpets.
At this
They're
point,
discussing
Hannah's in
it.
D.C. They
They're
moved her from
talking about it.
Colorado
I thought
to
she went to.
DC.
I thought she was back in.
Colorado?
But
no,
they
DC.
mentioned it,
Yeah, no, they moved her to.
they're like,
oh, right, yes.
This general is back in D.C., so she's
you-
closer now. and-
I can tell you right now, when it finally does come back,
She's
Hannah's-
not watching it.
No, well,
But you pay for Hulu now, so
I
you
know,
should
yeah,
watch
I
have
it.
to watch it.
Hannah's going to be a very important person in the Gilead life.
Oh, she's gonna be like Serena, like
yes,
like
a
running
leader.
shit.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. She
yes,
totally.
Felicia.
Yes. Otherwise, what's the
She's
point?
indoctrinated. Like you think
Yeah,
they took her
she's
so
raised
young.
there.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess that is
not
also
gonna
like
It's like Scientology. Think about
Yeah.
the people that are born into Scientology. Was Leah Remini born into it? She
Yeah.
bounced, but
She did.
Think
I
about
think
the
she
people.
was
I'm
born
curious,
into it.
like what the story with Nicole is going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look, I'm down for it. Anything.
we'll watch it. I just think
Anything with tell me her name again, the actress. Oh, Ann Dowd.
Yes,
Lydia.
Right.
Good for her. Good. I mean, how old is she? Good for her.
Got to be certainly close to 70. If she,
A working actress.
yeah, that
what
yeah, good
a career.
Absolutely, she's
Can
great.
you imagine, Mom? I know you're tired. Imagine you had to be on set, sitting
if
in hair
I
and
was
makeup.
getting paid that amount of money, I would freaking do anything, travel anywhere.
You know, Mom,
What?
let's get her on OnlyFans because that'll make her
anything.
give her all the money. All right, next finale, The Last of Us.
I did see it.
I mean, I don't play the video game, so
Well, we don't
I
know.
didn't.
With you, right, we
I
don't
was-
know. So they left
By
us,
the way, another Casey prediction came true
which is
that they're setting up season 3 to be about
Clearly, spoilers all over this
to be
episode.
about.
Caitlin Dever, Abby.
Yes,
You get it. You know what happened.
Yes.
So-
because they went back in time at the very end, and
Seattle, day one.
But they
and
only
she-
went back 4 days because technically, when they say Seattle day 1, that's the day that Ellie had started in Seattle. Because remember, they were like day 1 of Seattle. They did this at the end of this last season to set up a timeline, and now they're going to show the same time 4 days, but from
Abby's
Abby's
point of view.
And
Right.
that's what season 3 is going to be.
Right.
Before we get there, the episode I thought was so fucking dark.
It was very dark.
When we see Ellie over this poor girl's body, and she's
God.
like, "Oops, I'm pregnant." It's like, oh my God. I also hated the scene where she's like all of a sudden like fucking rowing a boat. I literally said to Casey,
Yeah, it was
"This
like
is like
that-
Game
yeah,
of
that's
Thrones."
like- I wanted to,
What
like,
is
shoot
this?
her.
But I get it. Like it's
That
a
was
video.
probably
It's a
in the
video
game.
It's
Oh,
a
I'm
game.
sure it's in
That
the
was
game.
probably a big scene in the game. But
Did
also,
you-
they didn't really elaborate. All of a sudden, she gets like caught by those people, like those the
Religious
those
fanatics.
Seraphites?
The Seraphites.
Was that necessary?
It wasn't, but it was probably in the game. Like
Yeah.
they had her for like 30 seconds. They almost killed her, and
then boom, they heard the
it's over.
bombs.
Yeah, but I bet they're gonna fill in those blanks in season 3 because you got to figure it's the same timeline, right? You're gonna see what those bombs were about.
You're
gonna
right,
see
you're right.
all of these things that didn't quite add up. Like remember when Ellie walks in and finds Abby's friends, and
Yes.
they're having a heated conversation about something.
The ones that she kills?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't know what they're talking about, but season 3,
Hopefully
you're
it's
going to
done
see
well.
it from that point of view,
Right.
and you'll see as Ellie comes in, you're gonna be like, oh, there's clearly something happening that we're not privy to until. Like, I
That-
think there's going to be a lot of backtracking, and then you're going to say, oh, that makes sense now. That makes
I
sense now. That
believe
makes sense.
ratings are high, but not as high as they were from the previous season. Clearly, it's because it paid though.
Absolutely.
But now what's going to happen? They're losing their star, Ellie. Like they just lost. They lost the characters.
Wait a minute. You're thinking she's done.
I think she's done.
You do?
I mean, I think
Oh,
she's dead.
do you not think she's dead?
I don't know. I think they left that open.
When that screen went to black,
I
A
understand.
little high pitched ringing.
I think she's dead, Mom. Oh wow, but there's always a flashback.
There's always, yeah.
There's always like a sideways flash.
Yes.
Like what's happening in the same time. Interesting that you
Will
aren't
I guess
sure.
I'm
I
not
think she's
sure.
dead, and I think
I'm
next
not
season
sure.
is literally just like
Bad
Caitlin
at.
Dever,
Okay.
and she could carry it because she's a fucking amazing actress.
I don't know. We'll see.
We didn't see Catherine O'Hara in this episode.
No, we didn't.
No, not
She,
one.
well, she was not a long-term
character.
Character.
I
Great
know.
in it though, and like
she's
not
great
in
in
her
everything.
typical way. She was really
Yeah.
like a more layered character than I've seen her play in a while.
Right.
She's
'cause
great in
She's
everything.
a comedian.
Right. Yes.
She was not a comedian in this.
She was great.
She was
Yes,
not.
she was.
Now, Felicia, we know you didn't watch the rehearsal finale, but this was, I'm going to say, the finale of the week.
It was
the
amazing.
rehearsal. I know you saw a little of the first, where he gets into the planes.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah,
Guess
okay.
what he's done?
What?
What he's been doing for the past 2 fucking years? Getting his pilot license.
In real
Commercial
life?
pilot license.
In real life.
Good for him.
Training just for this.
Just for this.
Just for this bit. And he finds a loophole.
But no, here's what's crazy is because he's probably autistic,
I don't think he's actually autistic.
He like failed. It's like taking the bar a gajillion times.
Right.
He like failed a bajillion times. When you learn how to fly, you learn how to fly on like a small plane.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get the landing. He like couldn't get it. And you see his frustration. You see like he was trying so hard. And apparently there were Reddit threads about people being like, I think Nathan Fielder's trying to get his pilot license. Is this for a TV show? Like people didn't know over the past 2 years. His whole mission was to fly a commercial plane. So
There's no way
he
they would let him.
No,
just
he hires
wait, just
100
wait.
actors.
No, because there's a loophole he finds. He speaks to the guy who is the head of the FAA, and he's like, I think there's a loophole. If I have my license to be a pilot in like a small plane, I could fly commercial if there's not paying customers. So he fills a plane with fucking actors. And he says to the actors, are you comfortable if I fly the plane? And every one of them is like, yeah, sure. Yeah. No one's like, do you have a license?
They're also desperate. In
So
LA, you can find
desperate.
100 actors that are just willing to
Do
to
anything.
work.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I'll let this unexperienced guy operate a 737. No big deal.
It's so...
There's just so many great layers to it because like it's insane. Like the whole thing where he gets the results to his autism test and
Yeah, there's all
insane.
these pilots in order to fly have to fill out like medical forms.
Of course.
Do you have anxiety? Do you have depression?
Everything, yeah.
And most of the time everyone's lying because if you have anxiety, most people do have some sort
form.
of it.
Right.
So
That's
there's
why
this- there's
pilots
like
aren't
this-
honest.
There's this code with pilots. They're like, never get a diagnosis because once you do, you're
It's like, don't take that
stuck.
COVID
You're
test. Once
stuck.
you take the test,
you
everyone's
have
going to
COVID.
know.
You can have COVID, but if you don't take the test,
You never had it.
you never had it.
By the way, apparently, I think he went on CNN and he bashed the FAA, and that's what the media picked up yesterday.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, he made a fucking point. He made a point. He found a real pilot to be his co-pilot in the commercial jet.
Right.
And he starts like trying to have a conversation with him.
But that was his whole theory was that there's no communication.
talk.
And that's why there's issues. And
That's why there's a mess.
yeah, and I tell you, if just to wrap this whole thing up, because if you haven't seen the show, you may not even know what the fuck we're talking about. But the greatest achievement of this season is bringing back the relevance of Evanescence.
Of what?
I bet their streams.
Explain the
just soared.
story. Explain the story.
It's a long
It's
story.
so
but
ridiculous. He started
basically,
like a singing competition.
He's pretty sure that Captain Sully was a big Evanescence fan.
Because Captain Sully wrote a book. You know about the guy, remember, who landed the plane on the Hudson?
Yes.
In the book, he writes that he loves Evanescence.
So
What is FNF? What did you say?
a one-hit wonder band.
An awful, awful song. If we play it, you may know it. Say, you can repeat after me, Mom. Evanescence. I usually can't make
Evanescence?
names. I usually can't pronounce names.
Effervescence?
This is where I get it from. Evanescence.
Evanescence. I never heard of that. Wow. Okay.
So this song,
Can't wake up.
dig me up inside.
Wake
no?
me up.
It's awful.
can't wake up.
There's nothing there for you. So this song
Okay.
comes back. Look, this is by far the finale of the week.
If it's your type of thing, it's the greatest show of the year.
And people said it would start off slow. You guys,
If you don't get it,
you're never going to
gonna
get
get
it.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
You don't
it's-
get
I
it?
didn't- You don't get it.
remove me
it's-
from your friend
if
list.
it's in your wheelhouse of comedy, it's the greatest thing. But if I can
strangeness.
see how if it doesn't
I don't
resonate,
get it.
it would. yeah.
I didn't get it. Never
Felicia.
will.
There's no sort of with this stuff.
Take me off your favorites. I'm just kidding.
no
Listen,
problem.
there was so much this week. We also went to the movies last weekend.
Oh, that's right.
We saw Friendship. We saw Friendship with Paul Rudd.
Oh. And
Tim Robinson.
We went with our neighbors, and the movie was almost ruined for us because of a bunch of high school assholes sitting behind us. But here's the
They
thing.
didn't have a ticket. They just
We don't
wandered
think they
in.
had tickets.
No,
they
wandered
came in
20
late.
minutes late.
A group of boys and girls came in 20 minutes
Sound
late.
like such old people complaining about this.
This was wild, guys, because they were so rowdy. And I finally said, shh.
And then the kid fires back with, "You shush."
no
I thought Marnie was going to snap.
no
And I was
respect
this
for their
close
elders.
to getting up and going to talk to somebody. But then another adult.
She's going to go full Karen and
Another
speak
20
to a manager.
20 minutes
Not that
later,
Karen.
these kids are like laughing
Right.
and they're talking. And then 20 minutes later, a woman says, "Please be quiet." And a boy said,
the kids.
"I'm so sorry. We'll be quiet."
Oh.
Then 10 minutes later, a guy screams, "Shut the fuck up."
That worked.
They bounced.
They bounced.
They
So if they
bounced.
were
There you
ticket
go.
holding customers, they would have stuck around and just stayed quiet. But they showed up 20 minutes late. They left like
And it was a group of them. Now, what I would like to send a message to them or their parents if they let them is
beat your children.
no. I snuck into a theater. I want to say I was in college. I saw Zoolander twice.
But you sat there very quietly.
I went to see the
and
fucking
shut-
movie.
and shut your mouth and
To
you
enjoy
kind of,
this-
You also don't want to call
I know.
attention to yourself if you're doing something wrong. Like,
Also, ballsy to roll in with like 5 deep, but they
Right.
must have looked at the app, seen
don't care.
the whole row. I was
Right.
furious. I swear to God, I hope their parents are listening. If your children were at the movie theater last Sunday. So anyway, the movie. Let's get to the movie. Dark comedy. Casey loved this. If you are a fan of a show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave, this is a certain type of comedy. Paul Rudd was hilarious. You would fucking hate this movie, Mom.
Felicia would hate it.
Hate it. I think I even said to you at one point, Felicia would hate this movie. Now, my neighbor Lauren kept whispering to me like, that Paul Rudd's character is Casey. He's like a cool guy. He's got like this mustache. He's in a band. And the neighbor's obsessed with him. Like the neighbor has no friends.
I felt like a hybrid of both characters.
Yes.
I
So
felt
the
like
neighbor, though-
the awkward neighbor.
Is married to Kate Mara, who is so fucking hot.
Oh, yeah.
She's gorgeous. And she gets over cancer and she's with this doofy guy. And she's like, you need friends. So he knocks on the door next door and they happen to be moving and he becomes obsessed with Paul Rudd. And it's like a little too much. It's a dark comedy.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
If it's your wheelhouse of comedy and you like that brand, it was perfect.
It was nice to go to the theater, except those assholes.
I don't think I go to the movies to see comedies enough.
Right.
There's
Because you think
something-
that you could do streaming.
Right.
Easy.
But then there's also something about sitting in a room full of people all laughing at the same. It's like going to a comedy show.
Yeah, yeah.
There's an energy to it that you can't replicate streaming in your living room. Like I remember, one of my guilty pleasures in this life is the Jackass franchise. I saw Jackass
Yeah.
by myself.
Felicia's
in a
cracking
full
up.
theater full of dorks like me.
It is so you.
I
So
love
Casey.
it. But
Him and
it was
yeah.
the best experience because you're with other idiots.
It's
that
like
are
the
laughing
idiots
at the
watching
same thing.
Minecraft, being like chicken jockey.
It's an experience that you can't have watching it by yourself in your
Or
living
with your
room.
family who thinks you're weird.
So I
think I
kinda
saw
like
Jackass with you in the theater once.
maybe one of the other ones. I saw Jackass 4 by myself. I remember getting off the train at Lynbrook and I knew you and Lennon were going to be asleep. And I was like, do I really just want to go home and fall asleep? And I walked over to the theater and I sat by myself and watched it. And it was one of the best experiences.
Nothing better than going to the movies by yourself.
I love it. I go to everything by myself.
I know. Well, talk about comedy. Our documentary of the week is Pee Wee.
Oh, right.
The Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Actually, I heard it was very good.
It
Fantastic.
was 2 parts. And what was amazing about this is documentaries are usually just talking heads of people talking about somebody else. Pee Wee recorded 40 hours of footage that filmmakers did not know he was fighting cancer. But in true Pee Wee Herman fashion, or Paul Rubens, I think was a very difficult person to work with because he was I think he wanted control and creative
He admitted
choices.
that, though. He was
Yes.
self-aware in that way.
But like the film, basically filming ended because like he was like, he didn't
Too
want to
sick?
talk.
Oh.
No, he wasn't too sick. He didn't want to talk about the bad stuff. Like they brought up the arrest and the masturbation in the theater, which now looking back, it was so ridiculous. He was in a fucking adult movie theater. Like, who cares? That's what you do in adult movie theaters. You jerk off, right? What else would you go
I've
to?
never been to an.
Nor have I, but I'm assuming.
Speaking of a collective theater experience, you could go to Jackass and laugh with your friends.
But then something really shitty happened after that. Then what was it? Like a competing producer actor like basically said that he had child pornography at his home.
Yeah, it was the guy who played. Was the guy who played Rooney in
It was
Ferris Bueller's Day
yes,
Off?
the guy who played Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off was accused of child pornography, and then said no, Pee Wee Herman, like and put Paul Rubens' name in.
And they never found anything. But
No, but what he had was a collection of like old male magazines, men in underwear, but it wasn't child. Like it was so fucked up. But hearing about the history of how the show got made and how it started off,
That
just
was more
like
interesting to me.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry it like got overshadowed by the negative, but the Pee Wee's Playhouse started on Sunset at the Roxy, where me and Casey met.
Oh,
It was great. This is the documentary of the week. It's 2 parts. It's about an hour and 40 each. I highly recommend this. And for us, it was like super nostalgia. We grew up like, do you remember putting me in front of the TV and watching Pee Wee's Playhouse? 'Cause
No.
I have such memories of watching it.
because
such a
always thought it was
creative
stupid.
show.
You thought it was stupid?
Yeah.
But why did I watch it then?
I don't remember you sitting in front of me.
I
Ever
think we
watching
watched. We didn't have these streaming options.
No,
Kids have all
not
these
at
niche
all.
genres.
No, it was
that they-
CBS, but I'm
we
saying-
watched whatever was on Saturday morning.
That's
We
right.
were fortunate because that was like.
But
a
Felicia
creative,
doesn't remember
quality
me
show.
watching.
I don't
it.
remember because I never came down.
I remember
Saturday
seeing the
morning.
movies.
I'm sure you did, but I don't remember any of it.
Where
because
were you Saturday
Probably
mornings?
sleeping
In bed. But what's great is me and Casey, we showed Lennon Pee Wee at the age of 3 or 2.
Very early.
Very early. And that's when we realized, oh, this is a little inappropriate. But like, it's
all this stuff went over his head.
At that
of course,
time.
but he was the first to make children's programming entertaining for adults. So right now, all these kids' movies play to adults because they want it to be funny for adults that have to take their children to the movies. A lot of the things were like, you know,
I think
above
though,
their head.
I think though, like the movie, like Pee Wee's Big Adventure, was more intended for adults.
right.
I think he says that in the documentary that when he got approached to make a Saturday show, he loved the fact that it would be tailored to children because he liked the idea of like taking this creative world and making it a little more innocent. And I think that there wasn't a lot of innuendo in the Playhouse. There was
Just
more
the
so-
boobies.
Which boobies?
Like Yvonne's breasts, like jumping
Right, there's some
around. There was
boobies.
a lot of gay innuendos. Like I'm all for it.
I don't know.
We also dressed up Lennon as Pee Wee. I throw that back out. It's
For
funny,
Halloween.
like I posted our holiday card. We did a Handmaid's holiday
Yes.
card when it was at the height. People thought I was pregnant but I was out just holding the robe.
Right.
My hand was over my stomach. So now I'll throw it back.
I think also Lennon was holding a challah loaf.
Yeah.
And I think people read that as a bun in the oven.
So we dressed up Lennon as Pee Wee, and he had his red bike. He was so cute, and he like knew it. He was all about it. So yeah, Felicia. Before I get into another show that I watched this week, what have you watched? Because you're telling me that you don't want to watch anything that I'm telling you to watch. I did not make you watch Sirens, but did you start Sirens?
No, I did not. But last night the girls were talking about it. 5 episodes. They said it was very good. So I might have to give it
Oh,
a
so
shot.
I watched all of it last weekend.
But I don't give a shit if you watched it because.
But if your girls watch it,
That's
that's
right.
okay.
You
Well,
do that
okay.
shit all the time. I'll tell Marnie something. That's how you got into Severance. I told you for months to watch Severance. Then the right person gets in Marnie's ear and she
Who
goes,
was the right person?
I don't even remember, but I just remember somebody got in your ear and you're like, oh, maybe I should watch this.
All right, so great.
All right,
Friends
so-
get in her ears.
okay,
Sirens.
okay.
5 episodes, quick watch.
Right.
I watched it last weekend because it probably wasn't nice out. I have mixed feelings about it. Some people really liked it. Some people don't. Look, anything about rich people is fun to watch. It's such a quick watch. Julianne Moore's character, literally, I kept thinking this could be Nicole Kidman's
probably in
character.
the other show.
The two of them probably auditioned for the same
Maybe.
parts.
Right.
I have mixed feelings about it. I thought the girl from White Lotus, who's the lead in this, Megan Fahady, was great. Great starring vehicle for her because now she's playing the opposite role. She's not the rich person. She's going to visit her sister out in like what looks like the Hamptons. And the sister is the assistant to Julianne Moore, who's married to Kevin Bacon, who's like the richest billionaire ever. And Julianne Moore used to be a lawyer. She gave up her career to be his wife. He had an affair. That's how he met her. And I was intrigued where I kept wanting to watch it, but the ending fucking ruined it for me. And I just don't like how it ended. And I'm going to let you decide because I guess you're going to watch it now so you could talk in the clubhouse in Plainview about it. Maybe.
Right.
So I don't think Sirens is like the best show ever.
Okay.
But it's nice watching rich people with fucking staff in the Hamptons or whatever, wherever they were.
Right.
Julianne Moore was fun to watch. And Kevin Bacon is, Kevin Bacon. But I guess kept putting Nicole Kidman in my head, and maybe because of 9 Perfect Strangers.
Right.
Which I thought this week's episode was so fucking weird with the tripping. Oh. It kind of was like, it was a little cringe.
Yeah, it was very cringe.
I hated the scene where,
The Nun?
well, then that was really fucking disturbing.
Yes.
That was disturbing.
The whole thing is disturbing.
I don't remember that.
Why she
I don't
made
remember
him
last
jump in- I was
season
like,
being disturbing.
I don't remember it either. I find this season's more disturbing.
Yeah.
And she's more fucked up in this season.
Maybe because now she sees her daughter more, so she's more fucked up. But I support her telling the guy to jump into a cold plunge. But
For 20 minutes?
She told him
Whatever it was?
She told him he's got to build his endurance, and he did not listen to her.
Well, because he thinks
He's the richest man in the world.
Right. But,
It was a weird episode,
Yeah, it
but
was.
I'm still behind it.
well, if you remind me, because I always forget when these things are on. I need a TV guide.
Felicia, you
Everybody.
say this every week.
And I
no,
need
no,
a
no, no, no,
TV
no, no.
guide.
I'm your TV guy.
Okay.
So when I call you and tell you to watch things, and then you get mad at me,
Just text me. I don't want to.
I
don't
did.
want-
I did text you. I literally texted her this: Handmaid's finale, Your Friends and Neighbors finale, Last of Us finale. I literally texted you, and I woke up, as we know, early, and I watched, and just like that this morning. What did you think?
Do you want my honest opinion?
That's why we're here.
I was so. It was so hokey.
I mean,
and
it's been
disappointed.
I know.
It was like the
It's
shit
so-
she
it's-
wore. Who? It was. I listen. I know it's not her. It's the stylist.
But it's
Whatever.
please, she's probably a executive producer on this.
Whatever.
She's
It
got
does-
definitely
it does-
final say on
Yes,
this wardrobe.
But it was ridiculous. I don't care what
show
you say.
is-
The whole show was cringe worthy.
But I'll still watch it.
I mean, do we know how many episodes?
I
there
don't
are?
know, but I will say
God,
this.
I hope it's not a lot.
I saw the preview, and I'm going to be into it. I feel like anything Sex in the City is going to be like Grey's Anatomy for me, where I will never give up on it. It is such nostalgia for me.
I get that.
And it's funny because you hear about like probably young girls in their 20s now who maybe are finding Sex in the City and binging it, but like this and Just Like That is not for them.
No, it's not.
And I keep thinking the title of And Just Like That should not be the title. I fucking hate the title. I hate it so much. And I keep forgetting like Mr. Big died. Like, let's not forget.
I
Like,
kept
Big
thinking,
died.
He died doing a spin cycle or
Peloton.
doing Peloton.
Yes,
Right.
that was major
and I
press.
Yeah. I was like, oh, girls, you freaking ruined
But
this.
Mom, did you recognize Rosie O'Donnell the second
absolutely.
before she opened her mouth?
Yes, of course.
Rosie O'Donnell is not
Sister
playing.
Mary. She's playing Sister Mary.
She looks like a normal lesbian
Human
in the
being.
bar
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Miranda.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she tells Miranda, I'm a virgin. I'm a nun. And it's like,
Virgin
she's a
Mary.
tourist. I
Yes.
thought Rosie O'Donnell was fun. I enjoyed her.
That part was, yeah, okay.
I also keep thinking, these are women in their 50s.
yes.
I'm now, oh my God, I'm like middle age now. I'm mid 40s, I'm approaching.
Yeah.
I do not want to go out for drinks every night. Like, they've got to be tired.
Yes.
And some of them are moms. I want us to be a little bit more realistic now that, like, the drinking.
But it's not.
You're right. And if we want to stay in the mind and the world of Sex in the City, then they're still going out for fucking drinks every day. But I'm glad Miranda said, Casey, Miranda's in the program.
Do you think women dress like that?
Oh, it's beyond.
It's
but
like
it's beyond.
That hat.
It's beyond.
That hat has
I know.
a whole,
I know. Dominic Pupa posted
I
the
know.
hat.
I saw that. That has a whole other life.
It's so stupid.
Why? Why? Who would
So
real life, in real Manhattan, with wealth and that they made it very abundantly clear how big her house was. Every time she had to go up and down to adjust
townhouse.
the
Well, I think the whole idea is like she bought this now townhouse with
Right.
Aiden, and now she's alone.
Did she buy it with Aiden or Big?
I don't think she's
There's no way that he would be that Aiden would be
When
able to afford
Mr.
that.
Big died, she went back into her old apartment, I thought.
And then she probably sold everything.
Mom, they showed in like previously what just happened. And then Aiden's like, I can't be back in your old apartment. There's too many bad memories. And they bought the townhouse, or she was like, fine, we'll move. And she bought the townhouse.
Well,
Clearly
hard to
she's
believe.
rich.
Anyway, I hated it.
But-
I was so disappointed.
Will you watch it again for
don't
like
know.
star cameos to see how ridiculous?
I'm sure.
to
But
see
how ridiculous the
wardrobe
clothing
is.
is.
They were at Red
And
Rooster in Harlem.
Right.
I enjoyed
I know, I
that.
saw that. Right. Right.
The guy singing, he was from the OG cast
Yes.
of Hamilton.
Yes.
And they just announced that Hamilton's OG cast is going to be performing at the Tonys because I think it's officially 10 years.
Oh.
Since Hamilton
Wow.
has been out. So
Good
I thought
I would
yeah.
see that anytime.
Well, Lamar, the guy who played Aaron Burr,
Right.
is coming back to Hamilton for
Oh,
the fall.
good for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a shout out to Jessica Rothschild. She's a girl from Oceanside, actually. And she has a new podcast out about the Soul Cycle cult. 2 episodes have dropped. I'm going to try to get her on the pod. Now, I know a lot of my listeners know me because we were obsessed with the opposite. We were obsessed with Flywheel.
Right.
I mean, literally, Flywheel instructors were at my wedding. Flywheel came from the owner of Flywheel used to be the owner of Soul Cycle, and they pushed her out. And it's just, it also.
You want to give her name? Do you remember
Ruth.
her?
Of course, Ruth Zuckerman.
Right.
I loved Flywheel. I was obsessed with Flywheel. Casey, you even tried Flywheel when we were living in the city with me.
I did a few, yeah.
Yeah. I shockingly never tried Soul Cycle because
Right.
I was so into Flywheel. I was like, I'm never going to go to Soul Cycle. But this podcast is super entertaining. So if you're in the spin world or just the fitness world and you want to hear about, it was just nostalgic of like being in the 2000s in New York City and all the things. I also, there's a lot. I also started watching Adults. It's FX, but all episodes have dropped on Hulu. It's 22 minutes. Mom, I do not think this is for you.
I'm sure it's not.
People are like, oh, is this the next Friends? Because it's like people in their 20s living together. But I actually feel more like this is Broad City meets Girls, but in Queens with co-eds and not just females. Okay? You got my spin here? It's 20-something-year-olds, boys, girls, straight, gay, living in one of the characters' parents' house in the Queens. And there's some moments where I'm laughing out loud. It's a real quick watch. I'm on episode 5. I'll probably finish it this weekend. I don't love it as much as Overcompensating. Now, I will say that one of the leads, his name is Owen Thiel. He's also in Overcompensating, and he's my favorite character. He's hilarious. He plays this gay guy. He's so funny. Yeah, if you like, it just feels very like in the now of like what the 20-something-year-olds are going through, which is like working over Zoom, saying you're, in the office, but you're not in the office, like little things like that, what dating is like now, all the technology. It's interesting, and I like to be in the know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I saw something on Apple, a movie with John Krasinski.
you saw it? You watched Fountain of Youth? I'm so glad you just...
Only because it was a movie.
Well, Felicia, it was on my By Felicia segment from last week, but I only watched so much this week I didn't have time. I'm
Right.
so proud of you. Tell me more. Tell me everything.
It was...
Should I watch it?
No. I mean,
Wow.
yes, I like John Krasinski, and it's a very cute character.
Tell me the log line. What's it about? Natalie Portman.
She plays his sister.
Oh.
Right. And his father was like a great like archaeologist, digging up like old paintings and digs. And they're trying to look for the Fountain of Youth, and he is determined. He's good at what he does, but there are like 3 different groups after him because of what he does, meaning good guys, mostly bad guys. And
They're trying to find the Fountain of Youth like to live longer, or they're
No.
trying to find like a piece of art?
it's a piece of art. It's history, whatever they think it is. It was so ridiculous.
I'm not going to watch it. This is why we have you, Felicia.
It was really.
This is why we have you.
Again, I really do like, and I liked his character. It was like,
Not
this
doing
is
it.
so
Not
fucking
doing it. Thank you,
stupid.
Felicia. Did you watch anything else that you want to drop?
Murderbot.
Shut up.
I've been wanting to see that.
We watched the trailer. Alexander Skarsgård. I'm dying. Apple TV.
I know, Apple TV.
Did you watch it all? I'm going to
No,
fall.
no,
I
no.
watched a trailer. I was like, I don't think I need to see
I
this.
could not get through the first episode.
Wow. Oh, God. Really? It's number 3 on Apple.
Of course,
that
it
means
is.
nothing for you.
Yeah, that means nothing to me.
Hold on. I feel like it's sci-fi, right?
Which is why I thought
I'm
I would
impressed
like
that you
it.
tried it.
I
Look at
did.
you trying things that I'm not telling you to watch.
I know.
You didn't like it.
I didn't finish it. I couldn't.
I didn't care for the trailer. I was
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Oh, God.
But I recognized his voice immediately, even with the
I mean,
fucking...
that's probably why, because of who was in it and voices.
So, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Marni.
You know what part this is, Mom? What we talk about, what we're watching this weekend.
Right. Oh, God.
Casey, I know I'm going to have to wait for you on this. This is what we're doing tomorrow night. You want to hear our plans? Do you know
Yeah,
what?
put it in my calendar.
We're watching. It's a movie. Mountain Head is coming out on Max. It's Jesse Armstrong, who did Succession's movie with
I did
Steve
want to see
Carell.
that. Yeah.
I love anything about rich CEOs. Felicia, it's a movie. Will you watch it? Steve Carell. We love Steve Carell.
And if it's a movie, I might.
Great.
If you remind me.
Okay, I'm going to text you. A new Bravo show is dropping called Next Gen with some of the housewives' kids. You're going to hate it. I'll try to watch it. And Stick on Apple TV comes out June 4th with Owen Wilson. I think he's a pro golfer.
Wow.
I got to tell you, there's so much great scripted shows out there that I haven't even watched The Secret Lives of Mormons. Not for you. That I wanted to watch that. Maybe I'll download it for the plane. Maybe I won't. There's so much good television on right now. I mean, Casey.
There's good streaming TV.
That's
that's
television now. Yeah, Mom, there's no more cable. The Sherry Papini, we tried to start last night, but Casey knows I like to be sleeping by 10 o'clock because I wake up early. I'm now doing the CEO Club. So I can't watch Sherry Papini. Maybe this weekend.
Getting up at 5 a.m. is the new meditation.
I mean, I'm on a path. I'm on a journey. I know. But I'm nervous about my journey because I'm going to be flying back and forth to California over these next 2 weeks, red eyes and all the things. So I hope we could record next week and we'll see what I watch, because if I'm going to have to sleep on the plane. Usually
Right.
I watch on the plane. So thanks, Mom. I'm so happy and proud of you. You did the work without me telling you to do the
I
new
was
work.
ready to hang up
Marni's
on
just proud of
Marni.
everybody this week.
With-
So,
I'm feeling good.
Every call I cringed when Marni called me.
That's so mean. You say I'm mean to you. You're being so mean.
I get it.
Keeping you alive.
when I see
You know, Mom,
You're
I'm
not
keeping you
me
alive.
You're not keeping me alive.
Planning your death. Get the
God.
prescription. All right, guys. Share, like, love. Mwah.
Bye.
My Felicia, bye Felicia.